OH7.
About North Bay. Yeah, we'll have 2 coming on board, so watch the quarter.
Ever since 1931, the world's captains have learned to rely on the expertise of the Port Everglades pilots to move their ships safely in and out of this busy seaport. Florida's safety and environment are the only priorities for these licensed state pilots. Within moments of boarding a ship, the Port Everglades pilot takes navigational control of the vessel from its master.
Dead slow starting place.
Unlike the ship captains, who spend most of their time at sea, the Port Everglades pilots know their harbor intimately.
Most captains are very familiar with their ship. They know about their ship, but they don't really know the mechanics of ship handling like we do.
3 to 5 miles offshore. The only way on and off this moving ship is by climbing hand over hand on a rope ladder, swinging off the sheer steel sides. On 365 days and over 10,000 ship movements a year, it's a drama that is repeated over and over, day and night. In good weather and not so good.
35 out here.
Every bit of 35, Hank.
What do you think we got, 8 to 10 foot seas?
Every bit of 8 to 10 as well. Winter is here.
Oh, yes, it is.
You walk out onto the bow of a pitching 40-foot pilot boat to grab onto a ladder. There's only one person that is keeping me on the bow of that ship in a safe place, and it's the pilot boat captain.
That'll be my assistant astern of me.
I've been out here on as high as 20-foot seas. Usually the Coast Guard won't come out. They'll ask us what the weather conditions are like.
No computer program can substitute for the expert ship handling skills and extensive local knowledge of a licensed state pilot. It is the expertise and autonomy of the state licensed pilot that will provide the most prudent decision under any circumstance.
Yeah, roger that. And then I don't have to let your line go.
Every pilot in Port Everglades holds an unlimited tonnage master's license that qualifies him to command any size ship in the world.
The commerce of the port is critical to us. It's up to us to, first of all, make certain that the overriding interest of the state is carried out, which is the safety of the vessel, the protection of the environment, and the protection of the citizens of the state of Florida.
Starboard 10.
With an average 18 years at sea, the pilots must obtain the highest score on a rigorous, competitive exam before they can even qualify to begin a 3-year training program.
Draft today? 11.8. 11.8 meters, okay.
I've done well over 10,000 transits on the way towards that 11,000 mark. I went to sea for 24 years. Of those 24 years, 18 and a half years was sailing on an unlimited ocean master's license. I was a ship's captain for 18 and a half years.
Bringing the world's largest aircraft carrier or cruise ship into Port Everglades presents its very own challenges.
She's 90,000 tons, over 90,000 tons of steel coming in at 10 knots, 12 knots. It's not like a car, you can't hit the brakes and stop, pull over on the side of the road or whatever.
You have the con of a ship coming into or out of Port Everglades. It's a tremendous amount of responsibility. You're responsible for the movement of the ship, the speed of the ship, any damage which can occur when you're doing the transit. You have to work the tugs, you have to be cognizant of the tides, the currents, wind at all times, and also the small boat traffic.
Any time of the day or night, we climb up the side of the ship and we make sure that ship gets in here safely.
We have an excellent safety record here. I think it's better than anyone. We've never spilled a drop of oil in this port.
At times of peak demand, it's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together.
14 for any concerned traffic. Mars Genoa.
Weekends are the busiest. The cruise ships often undock within minutes of each other. The restricted space of the harbor leaves limited choices for evasive action.
Doing a bypass around a cruise ship, you're limited. We have a 450-foot wide channel. The ship I was on today was over 100 feet wide. So you have to manage your widths and be able to keep the ship in the middle of all of the available safe water.
We're using all of our limits, yes.
The Pilot Association receives fees directly from the ship owners.
The day watch.
Not one penny comes from the hard-earned dollars of the taxpayer. The rates for the Port Everglades pilots are among the lowest in the country.
Steady she goes. What is your heading?
It's like a very simple port to go into. The course is 089.5. However, it's very deceiving with the currents we have coming and going into the port.
To not have a pilot on a ship and allow the master of the vessel to come in and out without any controls, I think is a very dangerous situation. They don't have the skill necessary to transit the port, and as well as the dockings and undockings that are required at Port Everglades. There's nothing forgiving about Port Everglades. There's no mud to back into or ground or any soft sand any place. Port Everglades was carved out of coral rock. It's hard rock everywhere, and every dock is cement, and there's not that many fenders around the port.
On March 13th, 1994, the busy port of Istanbul barely escaped disaster when two ships without pilots collided at the mouth of the Black Sea. No one in the state of Florida wants this to happen here.
5, please.
The smallest mistake or mechanical problem so close to shore could spell disaster for Florida's environment and tourism. To avoid damage, speed is needed to safely transit the channel. Slowing and stopping a vessel of this size in such confined space is a skill that requires years of training. The rupture of one ship could spoil the coastline and beaches for years to come.
If you have a tanker that comes in and has an oil spill as a consequence of some bad maneuver, then the port's shut down. International commerce is shut down. Florida hurts. The entire southeast part of the country feels the impact of this.
On the inaugural voyage of the Oasis of the Seas, Captain Hackett steers the world's largest cruise ship to her berth at Terminal 18. The pilots trained for months in preparation for this record-breaking event on state-of-the-art ship simulators. However, computers are not the holy grail. They can present the outlines of the channel, but it is the state-licensed pilot who knows the local vagaries of wind, tide, and current, and where there is sufficient room to maneuver if anything does not go according to plan. Journey through the crowded port was uneventful, and that's the way the pilots like to keep it. Protecting the local environment and tourism industry, linking the citizens of Florida with international commerce, the pilots act as arbiter between the interests of the shipping company and the concerns of the people of the state of Florida. The Port Everglades pilots always have and always will move ships safely.
You can swing out to 90, work ahead slow.
90 working.
087.
Back up the side.
Oh yes, Captain, thank you.